Welcome to Cakeology. You know who this is, B.O.B., nothing but the best of the best. Yo, today I'm gonna talk about, should you put an exotic vehicle in an LLC name, okay? I know a lot of you guys and girls out there into exotic cars, Lambos, Ferraris, all types of stuff. And I get a lot of questions, well, how do I get an exotic car into the LLC name? Well, should you do it? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Let's get it, baby. All right. If you guys are interested in money, business, and success, 2 to 3 videos every week. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, okay? So, as you all know, purchasing a vehicle, especially a high-end vehicle, there's always certain aspects that you want to be able to mitigate, okay? And I want to discuss some of those with you in the very, very beginning here, okay? Now, before we get into should you put an exotic in your LLC name, let's talk about, well, can you? Okay. Well, the long answer to that, the short answer to that is yes, you can. Okay. You can put an exotic in your LLC name, but there's quite a few factors that need to be considered. Okay. Number one, what type of vehicle is it? Okay, because not all lenders are going to let you put all kinds of vehicles in the LLC name. Number two, what lender is it with? Number three, what kind of down payment do you have? Number four, what does your personal credit look like? Because even though you may be putting a vehicle in the LLC name, you're 9 times out of 10 still going to have good personal credit to be able to do that. Okay, so those are just some of the factors that need to be considered when we're talking about, well, can you put an exotic vehicle, a high-end vehicle, into an LLC name? Now, other things to also consider is insurance, okay? And the most important thing is, well, what is the reason that you want to do that, okay? So let's talk about the insurance part first. Okay, depending on the lender, depending on the vehicle, depending on the details of the transaction, you may or may not be required to have commercial insurance for the vehicle that you're putting in the LLC name. Okay, because of the way that you may be financing it in a business auto loan, okay, or a commercial loan, you may have to have commercial insurance. Okay. Now, once again, there's a lot of different variables when it comes to this, and it all depends on, like I said, the price of the vehicle, the kind of vehicle it is, the lender, and what their specifications are. So before you try to do this, I suggest reaching out to the particular lender of the particular brand of vehicle that you're interested in and seeing what is it that they want as far as the checklist goes for you to be able to put that vehicle in the LLC name, okay? Now, also remember, we're talking about business credit here. Business credit can help accomplish that in a couple of different ways, okay? Number one, when you build business credit, that lets that personal debt to income ratio be cool, right? So if you have lines of credit, if you have business credit cards, if you utilize a little bit higher on that side, it doesn't affect your personal DTI. That's huge. In addition, if you're putting down a chunk of money, you can use a business line of credit to put down that chunk of money for the new car, right? You can do that. You can put it on a credit card. You can put it on a line of credit. You can do it a couple of different ways, okay? And you can do it where the interest rate is still mitigated and it's not as high as, other ways of being able to do it, okay? So as we all know, the way to build business credit is through net 30 vendor accounts, okay? Now, if you guys want to check out the 2 of the hottest, fastest reporting net 30 vendor accounts for your new business, startup, established business, whatever have you may be, okay? You can check them out in the link in the description below. If you want a free 15-minute consultation with me to discuss about how we can build business credit together, that link is also in there. You just starting a business? Check out the link to InkFile. So I've got some gems in the link in the description below to help you guys and girls establish your business credit and really get to the other side, baby. we've discussed now some of the factors, about, well, can you put an exotic vehicle in a business name? Okay. Now I want to talk about, well, should you? Okay. Should you do it? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. Believe me, I've learned the hard way. Okay. When we're talking about, well, should you? Well, what are some of the reasons that you want to? Okay. Is it to what? Is it to not have it in your personal name? That's a good reason. Okay. Because if you do put a vehicle in the LLC name, depending on the lender, 9 times out of 10, that won't show up on your personal credit report. Okay, which is a huge factor. That's the main reason. It's the power of building business credit, is because those business expenses, and they can be quite large, don't show up on your personal. So for you guys and girls out there that are, flipping houses, that are doing other things, or trading watches, growing your business, whatever it is, it won't affect your personal credit as much as it would, if you just had it on the personal side. Okay. Now, at the very most, it may put a little bit of an inquiry on the personal side, because you do probably have to go under a personal credit check. But other than that, the major debt, that line of credit, that credit account doesn't show up on the personal side. So that's huge. That's a good reason about should you. Now, another thing is, well, we talked about the insurance portion of it. Now, the third portion of it is that, well, people tell me, well, is it better to put it in an LLC name to mitigate taxes or tax liability, or is there any other specific write-offs? Well, as you guys very well know, I am not an accountant. Make sure you guys always have a good accountant and a good attorney on your team. As always, this is not financial advice, but in my experience, when we're talking about mitigating taxes, there's other ways to do it as well. Okay. Now, I'm going to answer this in a dual thought question. Okay. Now, say you got an exotic car. Okay, and you put it in the LLC name. All right. It gives you some options as far as, okay, well, that car can now be, used as advertising. Okay, for the business. You can bill it towards the business. You can bill it towards usage. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. I always, once again, suggest that you have a good accountant on your team. Okay. Now, but if you say you don't put it in the LLC name, you can still write off miles. You can still, advertise on the vehicle, right? You can still do other creative things to maximize the return on that vehicle just sitting outside your business. Okay. If you guys want to talk more about those type of creative ideas, make sure you guys get with me on the free 15-minute consultation and join my VIP business credit membership program. All of that will be outlined to you on our phone call. Okay. So these are some of the things that I want you guys to consider when we're talking about putting in a vehicle in the LLC name. Okay. Once again, can you do it? Yes. But let's talk to the lender. Let's get the interest rate. Let's get the insurance stuff down. Okay. Should you? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. What are we trying to accomplish? Are we trying to maybe use it as an advertising type of a ploy? Are we trying to have other, decals and other companies advertise on the vehicle? Are we trying to just write off miles? How are we going to mitigate the insurance portion of it? Okay. All of these questions are something to be thought about. Okay. Now, when it comes to the actual financing of the exotic vehicle, a great place to go to is exoticcarhacks.com. My man PJ putting it down. Great group. Check him out. I'll put a link in the description below as well to his program. It's a great tutorial to see how to help you be able to hack an exotic car and drive it with little or no money down for a portion of that time. Okay. So in that program, it's also discussed, well, what are the qualifications that you need to be able to get an exotic car? What is the car credit comparable, money down, credit, so on and so forth. Okay. That relationship, all that stuff is also discussed. Okay. So once again, money, business, and credit. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. 2 or 3 videos every week. BOB, baby. I'm out of here.